Before we start, this video was taken from a live stream on Twitch where we are currently building this website. If you want to have a chat, check out my Twitch channel, link is in the description below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Welcome guys, welcome. And we are going to start this series by a presentation, and you guys might be wondering like what the hell, a presentation really? But yeah, trust me guys, it's going to be fine, and I'm not going to bore you guys with the presentation that much, but this is very important to get yourself aligned with what's about to come and what is this whole series about, etc. Let's get started. Yeah, those are my famous last words. मुझे भी घंटा कुछ नहीं आता है. So but we'll figure it out. We'll learn and we'll see how things are coded in React. So what is this about and why are we doing this? So what we are doing is building a gaming portfolio or a website. So you can call it a portfolio as in a resume website, or you can call it a gaming website. It's gaming themed but not gaming. So okay, why is this important and why would you watch this and क्या होने वाला है आगे? Building a website is very interesting and very eye-opening in terms of how website actually works and how development actually works. So yeah, we are going to learn something new. For me, it's going to be React, and if for you guys, if you have not ventured into front-end development or any kind of development, then this would be brand new to you as well. We are going to build the app, and that will give you the exposure to the real programming world. So if you are not familiar with how things work in the industry, you guys will be able to know. Okay, so I'll tell you all the points that happens in the industry and whatnot. Okay, so let's get started then. About the website, how the website looks and what are we going to build. Yep. So this is the website that we are going to build, and what it is basically serves the purpose that people can come up and look and get to know me more. One thing that I hated the most about websites is you have to scroll to get the perfect view. I should say that the developer should take care of it, how the user flow is. So for that we have a button here. When you click here, it takes us to about page. This is just a random description that you can change it for yourself. So if you are building your own personal website, you can have a photo of yourself here, and then you can have something about yourself, something about your hobbies, maybe some certifications that you have done. You can put some logos there. The sky is the limit. So next, let's go to the next page. So yeah, you can scroll through it as well, and you can click on it. So but you see the issue with scrolling, right? Half is visible, half is not. That's why buttons. Okay, and about the games, so something that I wanted to add here was games. Like what do I play, what have I played before. And if you see, Valorant is on the top, and then we can go to the Valorant page, and then we have Super People, we have League of Legends that I used to play 10 years ago, or like for 10 years, around 4 years ago. And yeah, when I used to play, what I used to play, that's going to come in the next slide. Or I won't say call it this next slide, I would call it a screen. And then there comes the timeline. So if someone wants to let me know about my history or anyone's history, so in your professional case, if you want to create a website for yourself, then this would come as the work experience that you have. But here for me, it would be what game I used to play at a time. So like 2020 was the year of Valorant, and not even 2020, it's going to go much more than that, I guess. But yeah, 2020 was the year of Valorant. In 2019 I used to play League of Legends, then 2018 PUBG, but I started with Clash of Clans and then League of Legends. So, and also if you see, we have a click to expand. So if someone wants to know what happened there, so in Valorant I reached the diamond rank, and from when to when I used to play, more information about here. Something about the game here is like what kind of game it is. So for your use case, if you are building something for your resume, you would have some details about what you have done in that job, and which tech stack does it use. So does it use, say, Angular? Does it use React? Does it use a backend, some SQL, JavaScript, something like that? That will be coming up here. and then you have like everything is clickable, so left, right, left, right, left, right, and yeah. So we have this information, and after that, if you just click on the next one, you'll go, want more of me, then you can catch me live, or you can catch my links. Here you would have something for your GitHub profile. You would have your more contact me more, you would have an email account for yourself, and then you would have contact me more and stuff like that. So yeah, that's about it. And when you hover over it, it will change the color appropriately, so Instagram goes to Instagram and like that. And we are going to learn how to build this as well. And if you see now, that's the bottom of the page, that's the end of the page, that's the home page. It's very, very simple. We are not doing much here. And the reason why, okay, first I'll come back to the reason later. I want to grab your attention to the nav bar of this. So this is a nav bar. Nav bar essentially just works as a menu, you know. So on the top left corner we have a nav bar, what we call as a nav bar brand. That's the brand, so a short form for you, or if you have a logo, you can put it there. When you click on it, it will take you to the top. That's what the whole point of this nav bar is. Then we have these automatic scrolling thing, you can call it, or some people call it as anchors. So directly you can jump to the game section, the timeline section. And then for gamer tags, we have what am I known for, like what gamer IDs do I have, which you guys can add me through. So like for Valorant, I have many, like plenty of them, so I didn't put everything here, but you could have a button kind of system here that when you click on it, it gets copied, and you have a Valorant icon. You can customize this. So this is a Valorant theme button, but then you can customize it for Fortnite, you can customize it for whatever game that you play. And if this is your personal website as a job application website or something like that, then you can put here something like a resume, a link to your resume, or just to download your resume or view your resume, something like that. And yeah, the important thing about this whole website is the links. So that was the website. It's very, very simple. One thing that we have left is go to the game page. So when you click on the game page, then it will take you to that particular game. So imagine if I am on I want to know more like what you did in Valorant, or if you think of the gaming industry, you can think of what have you done in Valorant. That is this part. And if you are building this application as your resume or portfolio, then this would be what did you do in your project. So this would be the project section. You would have your projects here and some images about it and what you did in that. So when we click on the go to game page, then we open a very, very basic page, right? I have not spent much time on this, so it's just a very basic game page, and we had the same information that we saw before, so that's why it's just sidelined here. And yeah, just information like Valorant, what's my favorite play, what's my favorite video. We can customize this and we will customize this in the future, so don't worry about this page, not yet. And yeah, if you click on links, then it's going to take us back to the page, and it's going to automatically scroll us down. Same thing. And that's about it. Something about this whole website is, why is it so simple, and why are we not having like a very flashy website? The reason for that is that we can make our website flashy, but if you want to learn something, you don't really want to have a lot of things that you need to handle at the same time. So just to keep it simple, just to keep it very plain. So that was the whole website deal, and that's what we are going to build in this series. I don't know how long this series is going to be. We are just going to build it until and unless we are satisfied with it. Okay, every suggestion is accepted and valuable and appreciated. So okay, a little bit of information or background information about myself. Let me see. Yeah, a little bit of background information about myself. So why am I doing this, and who the hell even am I? So you guys might know me as a heart-stuck noob Valorant streamer, but in real life I am a full-time full-stack software engineer or developer, whatever you can call it, at Deloitte. I've been working there for the past 2 years now, doing a variety of stuff, from SQL database and API to all the UI stuff like Angular, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, even Angular JS. But I didn't start my development journey from there, and that was not the starting point for me. Prior to Deloitte, I had interned at 2 startups. What I used to do there was web development basically. So building web applications. And even before that, I developed a website which was very similar to NotesHub. If you guys know about NotesHub, if you guys live in the northern part of India, I would say, northern side, then you would know about GGS IPU and you know about the NotesHub thing. So it's just an application which serves you the study materials for yourself. So I built a similar version of that, and that got quite popular. So I have that experience a little bit. So you can say that I know few things about web development, but what I don't really know is React. What is React all about? So we are going to learn that here. And you know what else do I not know? Where the hell my followers are at, bro? Kahan gaye wo? Follow this channel, okay? You won't find any more credible information anywhere else. So this is the most credible information about the technology, about the industry, and also past variety of experiences. Okay, moving forward, shall we start coding right now or not? That is a very, very big thing, and that's where a lot of people struggle and leave programming on the spot. Not programming, I would say developing applications on the spot. So shall we start coding? Definitely not. Okay, what we need to do, we need to follow some steps. When we are doing a math problem, we are not going to just start on writing something, right? When you are writing an essay, you will not start writing something. You will first think about the question. First you will read it and you will analyze it. So that's something that we really want to do and we really need to do. So first thing is that we need to understand the requirements first. If we come back and let me take you back to the website. This is the requirement section here. Okay, this is the requirement section here. We have a website. What do the people really want to see? So basically what user wants to do is get to know me more, and it should be very clear and it should be very straightforward. So those things we need to understand it first before we start to do anything, before even we start to create this mockup or website or anything like that. Okay, that's the first step. The second step would be design first. You have to create some prototypes, some mockups, some wireframes for you that you can look into later, and then you can always think that this is my ground truth. This is something that I designed. This is something that we need to stick to, so that we don't continuously keep changing our designs, then changing our code, and then changing our design again, then changing our code. So that does not work. That will never work, and that's how people lose interest in programming. That's the biggest reason, and I would say the critical part. The third part would be to analyze the designs. So after you have designed it, you need to analyze those designs as well. What analysis would you do is you would figure out what things are not working, what things are good. You would design it properly, or if the requirement is wrong or not. So that part is also really important. And also you need to analyze and then finalize your tech stack. Finalizing your tech stack means what technologies you need to use to create this website. Do you need an API? Do you need a backend? Which backend do you need? Which API do you need? Which frontend do you need? Which libraries do you need to use? What is the scope of this project? What is how many people are going to use it? What is the average traffic? All of that you will need to finalize it in the step 4. And the last thing is implementing the code. That's it. But you need to follow at least these 5 steps. And this is the basics of computer science. This is the basics of software development. That's what it's called as SDLC, software development lifecycle. And this is very, very important. I would say people really don't think about this much, but once you get into the industry, once you start developing things on your own, you will see that this is very, very important. We have done the understanding the requirements. Did we design it first? Yeah, this is a mockup. So what you have here is a mockup. It's something that we are going to create. So mockup could be as basic as an image. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a full-fledged working website. So I spent some time to create this website. So we are using like a live thing here. This, you might think that this website is already created, then what are we going to do? But no, this is a very static website. So everything is hard coded here. There is no the data is not coming from any backend. There's nothing like that. So our first requirement, the requirement of the client is myself here. The requirement of the client is that I should be able to update whatever game I'm playing, whatever my timeline is, very frequently, from the comfort of my house, from the comfort of my room, or any PC or any mobile across the world, around the world. I don't care. I just have to update it anywhere. If I don't update it through an API or through a mobile app or something like that, what I have to do, I'll have to come up here, open the index.html file, make those changes again, and then test it again, and then re-upload it to the server, and then the website would be down for a few minutes, but that's fine because this is a very personal website. But if imagine if it's a big scale website, then even 2 minutes of downtown is very, very bad. So we are going to make it a bit dynamic. So things like about me, if I want to, if I just want to update my stream schedule, what should I do? Should I come up here, open my project, update it, upload it? That's too many steps. I should be able to do it within this website. There should be a login button that only I should know, and I should be able to authenticate it and edit anything that I want from here itself. That's something that we are going to build. That's a part of our requirement. And then everything here would come from an API. So not the name, let's keep the name as it is. And this data also needs to come from some backend, some other place that we can quickly update. And then also these cards needs to come from somewhere else, and this all thing needs to be dynamic. And so yeah, the links to these buttons should be dynamic. What we can keep here is the Twitch icon. Like, it was always going to be Twitch, it's always going to be YouTube and Instagram. So this order we can keep. Email ID also I think we can keep. We don't need to get it from the API, even though we can. It's fine, like we can keep it hard coded. That was the understanding the requirement and that part. Now you need to think that, okay, I need an API. That's definitely sure. Then that means that I need somewhere to store this data, where this data is coming from. So I need a backend as well. I need a backend, and I need an API to interact with that backend. So backend is nothing but consists of two parts. Our API, actually it consists of many parts, but let's just call it for two parts. So it would consist of your API and your database where this data is going to be stored. So here then we need to worry about what are we going to use in our front end. We need to analyze it. So what is the scope of this? Since this is a very small website, it's best to go with React, because React bundle size is very, very small. That's the huge part. Okay, but React, thinking about React comes at the fourth place. The first place is HTML. We definitely need HTML. Without HTML, we will not be able to create this website. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And then we need to think of something like what front-end technologies we want to use. Okay, so those were the 5 steps that we really wanted to do. So for the people who don't know yet, the basics of web development. So web development is done in 3 steps, or it has 3 parts. So first is the front end. What does the user see? The backend is what does the front end see and how it communicates and those things. So backend has APIs and database. And then we have hosting. So hosting would be where your website is hosted and how is it optimized. And also we have something like SEO. So those things are there, which is search engine optimization. So if you put your username on Google, should it come at the first place or not? Like, those things are there, but we are not going to focus about that in this series. Now the major question is what you need to do first. You have looked at the requirements, you have looked at everything. Should I start creating a backend right now and then worry about the front end later? Or should I create a front end and then worry about the backend later? Or should I worry about the hosting? In an actual organization, what would happen is you would have your front end specialist, and then you would have your backend specialist, and they would have their own team. They would work independently. If it's a big organization like Deloitte, then it would be like that. But if it's a startup or you are building yourself, then you have to do everything yourself. When things are working parallelly, it doesn't matter, because you guys you will start all the three together. And the hosting part is called as DevOps. DevOps actually is a umbrella term, so a lot of things comes there. We are going to start with front end first because this is a React stream, and then we'll think of backend later. And also that we have created mockup, we are going to use that to create the front end as, and we will use the data in the mockup as our ground truth. So ground truth is something that we call as the result of an API. So ground truth would be how the API responds and what data you are getting from the API. That's because if you don't have that data, you won't be able to build your front end as well. Or if you build it, then you have to change everything again. If you guys don't know about the API, don't worry, we'll discuss everything later. So let's look at our front end. So our front end stack is very, very simple: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. But before starting code about the front end, before we start coding, we need to set up our environment. Okay, so I'll tell you how you can set it all up.